Hello people, it's Gabby. How are you guys doing? Today I'm gonna share with you guys how I edit most of my painting videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, for both shooting and editing, I use my phone and this app called Framelapse for time lapses. There's a couple of items that I use to help with the shooting process. Firstly is this phone holder. It's quite heavy, but it's very flexible. On one end, you can position the phone holder on any kind of flat surface, and on the other end, you can clip your phone into it. Usually, I set the phone holder on top of my desk like this to shoot overhead shots. Next up, we have this small Gorilla Pod. It's also quite bendable. I usually use this to shoot in different angles or when I'm not at my desk, since the phone holder from before is quite a hassle to bring around. Lastly, we got this phone stand that can be used for close-up shots. After we're done shooting, the next step is to adjust the clips. Here are the 4 apps that I'll be using the most. Basically, what I'm gonna do right now is to import the files to Video Guru. Here, I can adjust how fast and how slow I want the clips to be, cut out unwanted stuff, adjust the brightness, and so on. After all is done, I'll save the file and then go over to this app called Snow. They got a lot of options of really trendy filters and frames, as you can see. Now we can head over to our next step, which is applying voiceover and music. Sometimes I prefer to write a script beforehand, so I can know what I'm going to talk about in the video. There's 2 different ways to apply voiceover. First is to record myself in the phone camera, and then I'll go over to Video Guru, choose this extract audio thing, pick the specific video that I've recorded before, and there you have it. Another way is to use the record button. It's available on the app. In this way, you can record yourself while the video is playing. To me, this is one of the most fun, yet really tiring steps because I tend to stutter and mispronounce things, resulting in many different retakes. Yeah. Anyways, I like to add background music to my speed paint, so here in the screen I'll show you guys my recommended channels on YouTube for copyright-free background music. Basically, I just download their free-to-use tracks on links where you can convert them into MP3, and then applying it to the video using the same way as I have applied the pre-recorded voiceover, which I've shown you guys before. In talking clips, like what I'm doing right now, the background music won't be too loud. It's probably around 2%, whereas my voice right now is around 80 until 90%. When I'm not talking, however, we'll put the music into 70 until 90%, depending on how loud the music is. Okay, let's move on to our next step, which is adding stop motions. Not animation, actually, it's actually stop motion. Anyway, first thing first, we're going to take a snapshot on where exactly in our video we're going to put the stop motions. We'll import that screenshot into this app called Ibis Paint X, where you can draw, and it's what we're going to be using. Right now, I'm going to add a new layer on top of the image that we've imported. If you're wondering, I'm using this brush called Gouache Mix 2. Now I'm going to write the word sketch on that layer. Now that we're done, here is where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're basically just adding a new layer and doing the same exact thing. Writing the same exact words. But you'll notice as you write that your handwritings will differ from before. It's not going to be an exact replica of the first one. That is actually the key of our stop motion here, because then you'll see how the different handwriting creates a really cool like moving effect. I'll show you guys that later. Now that we're done, we're gonna save both the first layer and the second layer separately as transparent PNG. Remember to save it as transparent so the white background won't show. Going back to Video Guru, using the sticker button, we're going to add both the layers that we have saved onto our video like this. What I'll be doing right now is placing all the layers in an order like this. I don't know how to explain this, so I hope you understand by seeing what I'm doing. An alternative is using this app called GIF Maker Editor. Basically, we're just going to make the layers, both layers that we've done before, into a GIF format, so we don't have to go through the hassle of placing it in order in the timeline like before. The only problem is that the resolution won't be as high as it is while it's still in its PNG form. Also, we're gonna have to use another editing app to apply the GIF that we just made before into the video, since the Video Guru app doesn't allow that. I'm using this app called VN, which I've mentioned earlier in the video. And yeah, that is another way to apply stop motions inside your video. I heard an advice that it is better to have 2 or 3 signature fonts, so these are the 2 that I use the most frequently. Both are not available inside the app, so I downloaded it on another website and imported it into the app. As you can see right now, I'm setting the color, the spacing, and also applying animations. I also like to add some wavy effects to the text, so heading over to Ibis Paint X. The Liberation Mono font is already inside Ibis Paint X, so I don't have to import it. And what I like is that I can choose my colors more freely because there's the color wheel. Here is how I edit the wavy effects using the effects button, going to transform, wave, and yeah, here's how I set the wavy thing to make the text look kind of quirky, cool, yeah. We're almost done, guys. Right now we're going to make thumbnails. I usually pre-adjust my picture that I'm going to use as the thumbnail picture on Snapseed. And then we're going to go to Ibis Paint X to draw doodles and add text on the thumbnail. This is one of the most challenging part, since the thumbnail have to look interesting, so you would want to click on it. Anyways, I didn't record the whole process, but this is how the thumbnail looks like at the end. Do you think it looked interesting enough? Finally, our final step, we're going to be uploading the video. After that, I'll be opening my laptop, going over to YouTube Studio, and adding subtitles. Usually, I add both English and Indonesian subtitles. After this step is finished, the video is finally ready to be published to you. And that is it, guys. That is roughly my whole editing process. I hope I have explained it clear enough and has been helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll try my best to answer. Thank you so much, guys, for staying until now, and I'll see you guys in other art-related content next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.